call the meeting to order. Now we will have the roll call. So please speak and say I'm here for everyone, just so we're very clear. Okay. Sage is not here. Laurel? I'm here. Pamela is not here. Teresa? Here. Susan? Here. Danielle? Here. Eve? No, you just here. I'm here. Good, good. Yes. Okay. I'm here. Melanie? Here. There's a little tiny delay, it sounds like. Okay. And Nick? I'm here. Okay.
Cindy Tiger and Stephanie for our service cues.
Right.
As well as Pamela, sorry.
Okay. And also present are Angela Brill, our administrator, Laura Mann, and our esteemed council member, Susie Hidalgo-Barney, whose birthday is today. Woo! Yay! Thank you. Okay.
We'll make it snappy.
Do we have any public invited to be heard? No. Thank you. Okay. The minutes, the March 21st meeting minutes. Does anybody have any questions or corrections on the minutes from last meeting? Okay. Everyone just ask them. Okay.
You do?
I have to double check it.
It's okay, you're doing great.
Okay. I would like to ask for a motion to approve the minutes. Laura?
I move to approve the minutes for March 21st.
Okay. Second?
I second.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Everyone that's voting aye, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Any nays? Any abstentions?
One abstention.
Okay, one abstention. Okay, so, all right. Thank you.
So just say
Six ayes, and one
0
abstention.
nays, 1 abstention, the motion passes.
The motion passes. Okay, do we have any additions or corrections to tonight's meeting, the April 18th meeting?
I have one.
Okay.
And what you have in front of you is likely correct. Versus what was posted earlier, number 11 is now going to be Board and Commission's Code of Ethics Review, which then moves everything else down. So new business is 12, Commissioner comments is 13, and adjournment is 14. Is that what you have in front of you all?
Yes. Okay, yes, that's what I have. Okay, thank you. Susie, would you like to bring us news from the City Council, please?
Sure, and my apologies for last month. We had a Longmont Housing Authority Commissioners meeting that was shifted from Tuesday night to Thursday night. There have been concerns with different, also in Boulder and Fort Collins City Council, they had protesters. And so we were expected to have some protesters for the ceasefire, they wanted us to do a ceasefire. So, I mean, in Fort Collins, they actually glued their hands to the brick wall. So it got pretty intense. So we were trying to find a way to put our meeting in a way that we could continue the housing authority, conduct that business without it being interrupted by protesters. So we shifted that. So fortunately, the conversations have been very civil. So we've had people come and speak in public, invited to be heard, but they've been very respectful and civil. So that was to that regard. Some things that kind of impact you all in the community is we made final decision on the 4th of July. So Kiwanis does host the fireworks. They pay for the fireworks. The component that the role that the city plays is that we provide public safety and traffic mitigation. So that's our contribution to that. We had heard from several members of the community for the past year that they did not like the fireworks at Fox Hill Country Club because it felt very, just a lead and just kind of out off to the side. So they kind of wanted people, we heard that people wanted it more at the city, like the center of city. We could not get it back at the Boulder County Fairgrounds. After COVID, when they reopened it, I know that there was some concern for public safety that, just even like the last 5-10 years, there has been challenge with the growth around and the influx of people coming to Longmont. So it was, that area was more challenging for public safety to keep people safe and in appropriate spaces to watch the fireworks. In addition to, we have an osprey nest.
Oh, yes.
So there, it's right there. So if we're looking at taking care of wildlife, it wasn't feasible anymore, and for a variety of reasons. So we have allowed Kiwanis, and I believe that they took us up on that, to have it's the Fire Training Center on the corner of Martin Street and First.
Yes, just right over
Yes.
there.
Yeah, so we'll have it there, and then we're working with businesses near Wibby's. I think Wibby's is taking the lead on this, but having some kind of street fair or event in the early afternoon to kind of encourage people to not necessarily do fireworks at their houses, but we have something for you all to do. So that's, that will be coming down. It seems like it's pretty exciting, so. It's coming together. And, I don't know if you all have any questions or, yes.
What about parking? We're down there by Moody and
So-
fireworks there.
So they're going to, I know that traffic and public safety, they're going to look to block off some areas of, open space areas, like empty fields, to kind of put some parking in there. They're still working out the technicalities. One of the things that we've suggested, I think it came from Councilmember Yarborough, was looking at shuttles. So if people park at the parking garage on Hoffman, but there's a huge parking garage and I park there, it's almost always empty. So, we encourage people to take up those spaces and have shuttles that will take people to the event. So, so if they're, just physically, just can't make the walk, that we would have those kinds of accessibilities available.
I live for the fireworks.
Yeah.
Love the fireworks.
So we are going to also do a pre-fireworks display. We're networking with the school district. They have a drone team, so high school kids. So they're going to do a pre-fireworks show of a drone display and then the fireworks. So we're just kind of hoping to really build up, make some events for people to get involved and come out and network and have fun.
Well, I'm glad to hear all this because the fireworks in my neighborhood on the east side are extremely loud and severe.
Yeah.
And they're, the kind that are really not permitted, but nothing can be done about it.
Nothing can be done about it. So we're really hoping that if we have these different events for people to get involved with, that they'll be less inclined to just be at home and come out. And I know because on 4th of July, the weeks up to, when I hear them, I get in my car and start to, who's doing that? Let's go with the neighborhood. Like, if I could not have to do that, I would be very happy.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions or concerns for Susie and council?
Thank you for always being
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
here.
Thank
And
you.
it's your birthday.
I know.
That's a little above
Yeah.
and beyond.
I have to run upstairs real quick.
That's right. Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. Next, item number 7, Art on the Move update.
Oh, wait, that's me, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that is me. That's me.
So I'm gonna
I'm not sharing yet,
Yes.
right? Okay, so then I have to. That's right. I'm not fighting with technology today.
Don't say that.
Host has disabled participant screen sharing.
I'm not. Screen share options.
I was really on a struggle bus earlier this week.
Okay.
There we go. But not today, guys. Today is my day.
very easy. Everything easy and graceful.
That's what we're gonna say. So, you have full commitments from your participants, still working on some of the I'm still working on some of the contracts, but let's just go through the images first. So your butterfly bench is going to go outside of Old Town Marketplace.
Oh, wow.
And so Old Town Marketplace is very excited, and the artist today at 4:45 was asking if he could delay his installation so paint could dry. And while I appreciate that he is repainting it for us, I said, nobody, you gotta get in here when we have the weller. So he was very accommodating that way, but it's nice to know that these artists they want it to be the best for you. So that's lots of fun. This is opening up. It's a piece that is about 6 feet high. And
I don't think that the Zoom participants are looking at this thing that you're showing to see.
okay, hold on, Zoom participants. It says I'm screen sharing. See, screen sharing. No?
Yeah, but we have page 2, or page 3, or some other page.
Okay.
You should be getting slides of the artwork we're talking about, so we're working on it. Hold on.
Yeah. How about that?
Nope.
Yeah, you're right, Teresa. I spoke too soon.
Don't jinx yourself. So if
It's too many. It's just too
Front of the
much.
desktop is right there now.
How about now?
yes, no,
Okay. Are we, so, let me back up. This is the problem, is I don't think that okay, maybe I can. Eve, are you seeing butterfly bench now? Melanie, are you seeing butterfly bench now?
Yes.
Huzzah!
Excellent.
Okay, butterfly bench, painting, gonna look great, and artist is sticking to his commitment. Thank you, artist. Now you are seeing opening up yoga pose.
yes, yeah.
Great. About a 6 foot high hand forged steel with patina. For those of you who weren't here for the selection process, each artist was allowed to submit up to 3 different artworks, and the commission decided coming into the vote that we were only going to accept 1 piece per artist. And so that made for a really fun discussion because some artists, such as Jody Bliss here, submitted more than 1 work. And so we had to narrow it down. So this piece also has butterflies. You can't really
Recording
see it
in
here.
Progress. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're
fine. Before is the recorded before.
That's fine. Butterflies up and down her spine, and so we will be putting this into St. Stephen's on the north side, kind of under the tree. It'll be visible in the round-ish, right? You kind of get 3 different sides of it. So, and it has a little poem, etc. This piece, which its title is going to come to me, is Gregory Field. Spiral of Life, good one. It is ceramic, and all of the little blocks have these different natural looking features and bits on them. He's excited to participate again, and this is going to be along 4th Avenue, and I'll show you locations here shortly. Perforated Basin by Joe Norman is going to be along 4th Avenue up near the alleyway. The icosahedron, which is an interactive piece. Any of our friends who play Dungeons and Dragons will recognize this dice, and so you'll go and kind of whack it and it'll move around. So that's lots of fun. He is a Maryland artist, not joking, and so he's getting a little bit of grace on that installation time because he's driving it here, and he's very excited. And so, you know, we don't provide freight, like the stipend is the stipend, and he's going to Crested Butte, and when I told him that he received the contract, he was in Georgia, so Yeah, he's just kind of putting his icosahedrons all over the United States, so. So he'll be in Longmont, that'll be fun.
Where's that one going?
That one is going on 4th Avenue, right next to Main, so very, very visible.
Okay, that'll be good.
Yeah.
Do we need to put him up for a night or something?
You know, he didn't
Say.
ask. It's never been a part of our program because it's temporary artwork. We're limited on that dollar figure.
Oh, I was
That
just saying,
said,
I would volunteer.
I was gonna say,
I would be more than happy to.
okay, when he and I, he is not confirmed, like, exactly when he's gonna arrive. If that comes up, I will. Yeah. It would be the end of this month. Or the next month.
In May.
Yeah, or, end of April, May. Yeah, like a week and a half, 2 weeks. It's a very artist. He's on the artist timeline. Yeah. Extreme Totem, which has is referential to Tolkien's writings. It does have a bunch of reclaimed materials, including organ pipes. It does not make music of its own accord, even though the artist is, what did he say? If you took like a leaf blower and you like put it on it, it might make noise. I was like, no. We're asking like if it makes noise on its own. It was like, no, probably not. But it does have some LED components inside, which are solar driven. So that should be a lot of fun. And that too is going on 4th Avenue, closer to Firehouse. The butterflies within a butterfly, so it's a very large butterfly, and then the stamp out of the pieces of other butterflies are within. This is a kinetic piece, so the butterfly itself is connected to each pole with a cable, and this is going to go into St. Stephen's Plaza, and it's going to be right next to the church. It will be huge and fantastic. So the yoga girl with her butterflies, and then this butterfly, and then our friends at LDDA have a butterfly bench that they have installed, so it's a thing. It's not usually my
It's our
MO,
theme for this year.
I guess. It's
Get
just
a
kind of
lot
what
of
it is.
butterflies.
At this time, the artist for this work applied and said that the work would be available when we're installing it, and now has suddenly changed his mind. That said, he and I have been talking about installation, especially close to the library because it's an ampersand. And the work is attached to a 2,000-pound rock, but physics says, of course, that if you apply enough force onto the side of it, because of its size, it could tip over. And at this point in time, because of the plaza at the Civic Center, the weight restrictions and requirements, and also that I cannot drill into that plaza without making some people really mad.
The whole Civic Center fall down.
So I'm working as hard as I can to make this loan work. I can't promise at this point. So our structural engineer, who's advising me, is not happy about it. That said, if I can come up with a solution where we're working with the bronze and not the stone, and I can find a sufficient way to connect the work to the ground, we'll move forward. But the other piece of it is that every application, asked certain parameter questions of if it was going to be available, and he said okay, and now he's kind of coming back on it, which as an administrator I don't really appreciate, but it is what it is. So I'm doing my best. And again, it's not out, but I don't want you to be upset. I want you to know that I'm doing my best. Charlotte Zink's piece, Thoughtful Minds, is going to be on 4th Ave. So there's 2 little visions of that. And those are your pieces for Art on the Move this year. Yes,
So if the guy with the stone and the reader,
yeah,
if he's out, do we have an alternative?
I've used all of our alternates. The bear, the grizzly bear that we were super excited about, he withdrew his application because it got taken somewhere else. Fox Risk Management said, thank you for trying, but that's too dangerous. Yeah, so let me show you some of those.
Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't get the bear, but whatever. Maybe he'll stay.
Oh, now it really doesn't like me. I'm trying to make different decisions. Oh, that's not what this decision's for. Let me show you. I have it. Yes. Okay, some of this has changed just a little bit, but for the most part is fairly accurate. It says my screen is paused. Do you know what that means?
Reshare.
Pause. I said, shoot. Let's go. Sorry, y'all. Oops. Okay. There we go. All right, Eve, hopefully you are seeing 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and a bunch of images.
Yes,
thumb up.
it's not here.
But here it's not. Why?
He was so.
Okay, hold on. Here we go. Now everybody sees it. Okay. I'm in like the metaverse, right? Like I'm in like multiple dimensions. Okay. In person and also. Okay, so number 6, which is all the way to the right, you'll say, wait a minute, I didn't choose that. You're right, because that's the piece from safety and justice that we have to remove while they are currently in phase 2 of demolition and fixing and things. And so we could put it in storage or we can rope it into what we're doing. So while we have our handlers and we have a place to move it to, that's gonna go right in front of the firehouse, where the robot is now.
Oh, it is?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the idea of the recycling center?
Well, if we put it at the recycle center, then we wouldn't have full plinths here.
Okay, all right.
And it would look kind of funny if one of them was missing.
That's fine.
Okay.
And I think it would get hidden at the recycle center because it doesn't have the kind of dimension this
No,
is there.
I think it's fine. I just,
It's not very big. It looks bigger than it actually is when you go to the Safety and Justice Center because it's in a bed and the bed is already 3 feet up.
Yep.
So it actually has height to it where it is now. And our friends at Safety and Justice would put like Christmas lights on it and like around Mardi Gras they put beads on it and stuff. So we're gonna put it back into the art mix.
okay.
Okay, great. So it's gonna go in front of Firehouse. Then next to it is Charlotte's piece, which I think is gonna be really nice. And then the existence totem is gonna finish us out. That thing's really, really tall. Then when you cross the alleyway, the perforated basin will be on the other side, kind of still keeping that height and then moving back down to the spiral of life. It's got a lot of geometry and a lot of those really natural ochre colors. And then, you know, you've got those kind of square, more geometric images that then leans itself into our, say it, icosahedron. Thank you.
Excellent.
All right, so that's that.
Okay,
So here, just to give you an idea, if you think along 4th Avenue, what's coming out and what's going in, robots going out, safety and justice piece is going in, Charlotte Zink's piece, you guys love her so much that we're just switching those in and out. So her old one's going out, her new one's coming in. Our dancing lady who broke is already gone, but that's where the existence totem is. Where that lovely Josh Ware piece is going out, and then that's kind of our point on Main Street. And then the brush with blue, then Gregory Field's piece is coming in, and then we have another kind of similar looking bit up close to the alleyway. And then where Kensington's hub piece is coming out, that's where we're gonna take the robot. So he's gonna go over there. Susan, I know you were at the meeting. So the commission, the cost for that piece is significant. And when we remove it, I'm gonna do a pretty detailed examination of its construction, along with my colleagues with the Arcade Link Company. So we're gonna take a look at it, and we're gonna move it over to Kensington and continue to see how our community feels about it. And then, of course, our Rivet Rodeo is leaving the museum, and we won't be putting anything back here because all of that's gonna get all torn up as we expand the museum, which is a yay, but we won't have anything here at the museum temporarily. And then, don't listen to 4th Avenue Breezeway, that's not true. That's gonna go along Main Street in front of Old Town Hall, yes.
So Rivet is going out back to its own.
Back to its
It's not
owner.
being replaced somewhere else.
It will not, and because of our public places policies and procedures, it is a cast bronze, so it's one of many, and Lafayette owns one, and our radius is 100, so we can't own any additional pieces within our radius. Which makes sense, like,
Yeah.
it's not special if everybody has the frog, you know.
He's cool.
He's so
He's so
cool. He's so cool. But that's not to say, and I've told all of these artists about the opportunities that we have to, you know, that they can't create new, different works and consider them for submission for our other opportunities. So there's always a chance. Okay, let's see. I gotta go
so
into
this
my
is really
multiverse.
first, keeping it, okay, so did you tell us for sure what our installation date is?
Oh, sorry, yeah. A week from today, we should be pretty well done. I'm starting to accept some work on Tuesday and take some work out. The majority of work is gonna start at 11 a.m. on Wednesday, and we're gonna work straight through all of Wednesday and all of Thursday. And then the big butterfly piece in St. Stephen's will go in at 11 o'clock on Friday. So if you are interested in coming and meeting artists or talking or see us in action, really anytime Wednesday along 4th Avenue primarily is where most of the action is going to be happening, on Wednesday or Thursday. And you can always just text me and say, which one are you at? If you're really interested, I can send you the schedule, but the reason that I make a schedule is to hold artists accountable of when they're supposed to be here, but I always break the schedule. The schedule never works. An artist is late, we're run behind, we can't get a bolt out, something. It just is how it goes. So really, come by 4th Avenue and we'll be there.
Okay, it is really fun, so encourage people to come down, because it is really fun on installation.
You get to see me drive a forklift. Everybody knows that.
Are you licensed?
Yes.
Which day?
I'm sorry, next Wednesday, the 24th, and Thursday, the 25th. And we won't have any cranes this year because we're not moving anything super, super, super heavy, which is great. That, you know, saves us.
Yeah.
It's quite good. Does anybody have questions about our move?
This is really helpful to see. This is very nice, thank you.
You're quite welcome.
They are great pieces.
They really are. It's a good selection this year.
They are.
And a number of folks are applying to, you know, our opportunities in the parks. So that's a big deal too. So we're trying to reach further, but we're reaching a more diverse group of artists, which is your mission. Right.
Okay. All right, shock art update.
So we met a couple weeks ago. It was Pamela and Sage, although they're not here right now. Just went over the deets with them, and then also they wanted to recommend moving voting from online and in person to just in person, because we feel that we want to have the community voting and not outsiders voting. And this year I am planning on doing voting at 2 places so that everybody gets a chance to come. And it's a little bit more extended than we have, especially last year. So the dates are, it opens for submissions May 1st, and then it's going to close May 31st. So artists have a full month to design and paint a box. And then voting will begin June 8th at Old Town Marketplace, and then the 23rd is going to be the last day there. We're going to move it over to the Longmont Museum June 24th, and then voting will end July 13th, which also coincides with the free day at the Longmont Museum. So I'm really hoping to capture a lot more of audience, and the Lego show is going to be opening. So we're going to have a lot of hits. It's going to be, I feel like this is going to be really good for people to come and vote and see the boxes in person versus seeing them online, and then also all the headaches that come with online. Like, it just is much easier to capture the audience that we want voting in person.
Oh, sure.
And then we're going to announce the winners in the middle of July. So obviously we're going to announce it after our July meeting, which is July 18th, so that you guys can all decide on which box that you want. And then training will happen early August, and then we're hoping to have the artists done by November 1st this year. Because we had some artists that really left it up until the last minute and didn't finish.
When we're surprised.
Yeah.
The other piece is that next month the recommendation, because both Sage and Pamela are not present, they can't make that recommendation to you to change that voting over from formally and officially from the way that we've done it before. It doesn't matter how we do it this year and this time is what does matter. But because it is a procurement process, we're paying these artists to do it. It needs to be a formal record of how that's going to happen. So that will be coming to you next month. And Laura has created some amazing videos that we have been working on, trying to get these assets for a while. And we have done some, and they were not awesome. And Laura has finally, not finally for you, but finally, created an asset that an artist who doesn't know how to create the moquette can go step by step and figure out how to do it. And then the next piece is really going to be from a creative mind, like, what does that brainstorm look like for you? What are some of the tendencies and what have past winners looked like? Nature. And like, how can you come up with your own, right? So you'll be seeing those on social media. One is up on our website. Should I show them on our website?
Yeah, sure.
Y'all want to see?
Was it the one that was on Facebook?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I think
I watched it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
It was only like the first minute because nobody wants to watch longer than a minute. The actual video is 11 minutes. So it's kind of long if you don't want to watch me build in a box.
But it was nice to see the snippet on Facebook, and I'm enjoying
Oh, good.
what you're posting.
Yes,
Thank you.
Great job.
Really good.
Yeah, every year we get a little easier and better at everything with this. I'm really grateful.
Yeah, I guess like the important thing I think with me being a working artist is I'm kind of approaching it in a way that how would I do it, but then also being able to explain that is also been, I think, really helpful for a lot of people. And with the whole design thing too, you know, I have this insight where I was able to kind of take our whole collection and be like, okay, so we have 30% landscapes. And then next genre is like animals. And then next genre is like clever or whatever. So it's like, okay, when you're an artist, like obviously you want to make something that is still true to what you are doing generally, but then what can skew you in a way to make the community love your design even more. So I'm that's what I'm doing currently right now. I'm actually making my own box. But yeah, so we don't watch the whole thing, but
No, at least we gotta get to the animation part because
oh yeah, I was like, I want to do animation. Oh yeah, I'm sure you can't hear.
Oh no!
It looks so cute though.
I know, I like it. I like it, friend.
It's good.
Excellent.
You have good piano skills.
I'm Laura. Welcome to my studio. I'm the Art and Public Places Program Assistant, and today I'll be teaching you how to build a shock art maquette box. All right.
See?
It's just good, huh?
I've been doing this for years.
Then, compliment marker. I love the music. Box cutter.
That was the hardest.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was.
Dear comms team, what access do we have to free music where nobody's gonna come to the city and be like,
Build one of that's.
Oh, that's true.
It's so fun to learn.
I love this.
We can get the high school band.
So I built a sign, so I'm gonna need 4 pieces. 2 that are 11 by 7.25.
This is exactly what we needed this whole time.
So once we're looking, measure it, once we're done with the sides. Alright, let's go to sides. You can see me here using the acrylic marker and my ruler to measure out.
Anyways, it's just building a box.
Good job. But it's so good.
Can I see your box now?
It shows on the corner.
It's not for yeah.
Okay.
So let's do pins and then glue pins.
I like that you've got the pins are interchangeable.
Yeah.
It's going the same way.
Here's where you put the pins.
Good job.
She's an artist.
No, they're just straight pins. I mean, they were stupid expensive at Michael's. I don't understand why, but
That kind of stuff is got, you should call me, I have to.
I was like, okay, I have pins, I don't have strings.
And the reason why I had
Right? Don't do your top until you have it done so you can measure it and make it correct.
top that fits exact.
These are the kinds of things you can try and tell somebody, but like until you can show them,
They're gonna get it.
So I'm gonna cut a new top for that size. And then I'm gonna do glue.
and then she's.
You're gonna want
like
to
gesso,
each side as best possible. Gesso is material that doesn't like
That's
to be
excellent.
So anyway,
Yeah.
I sent you a video of me working on it in studio. That's anyways, that's kind of what it looks like.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I'm doing a landscape because everyone loves landscapes.
Yeah.
But
Yay.
anyways,
Well, that one photographs well too.
that too, I was like, I don't think it'd be something that I personally like do, but I was like, it still aligns with my aesthetic, but it's like what I understand works best. Because like you're driving, you want it to be readable from everything. So, but yeah, I mean, it's been really fun, and I think like we're gonna get a good turnout this year because of a lot of different things. But hopefully, giving these assets to the artists will make them understand better. Because we've gotten flimsy boxes and boxes that are printouts, and I am like, no printouts this year. No, thank you.
Everything.
I think that's it. So yeah, next meeting we will have Sage and or Pamela give their recommendation formally, but that's what we did discuss was moving it offline to be all in person. So, all right.
Okay.
questions?
Okay. Did anybody on Zoom need anything? Everyone's good? Okay, cool. Awesome. They're good.
Okay, so I noticed that we don't have the rash traffic boxes on the YouTube.
No boogers. Well, we'll just throw it on into new business.
Okay, all right, next is the Clover Meadows update, which is a selection panel which is has gotten underway. So Teresa, would you like to talk about that?
Well, Angela had fun terrifying them about the cafe. that would be the extent of the meeting. No, Angela actually did a really great job about explaining how to get a cafe and how that was really the most difficult part of being able to look at art. And they were all very excited and they listened. So this was kind of more of an informational meeting for the first edition one, not a lot of fun looking at anything. And then Parks gave a presentation about the park itself and the ideas of where they're thinking of placing, where their recommendation would be for art. One section of it is actually going to have an orchard, which really fascinated me. So there'll be a bicycles park, kind of a nature walkway, and then an actual orchard. So that's really exciting about that.
It's going to be a fun park, and I
I've never met any of the people that are on the selection panel other than Teresa and me. So we have community members that are willing to get engaged, which is super wonderful. So that, and then we have one meeting a month until we meet with arts.
That's right. So the short list will be May 14th. Of course, all of these meetings are open to the public. The discussion will be all of the applications that have come in, and then the selection panel will be charged with narrowing that down to 3 finalists, which then will be paid to complete their proposal and then come and present those proposals June 4th. And so of the meetings that we really put out on social media for people to come to, the June 4th one, I think, is the most engaging, and community feedback will be most applicable at that time. I am in connection with the HOA folks over in that neighborhood, as well as one resident who would have served on the selection panel, except she's expecting a baby like that day. So she didn't want to commit to being on the selection panel if she wasn't going to be able to commit to attend. So, but that's great. So we do have community engagement in the neighborhood, which this park is going to be, but no one on the selection panel lives in the neighborhood. So the Parks Department, I thought, did a really good job of saying, while this is a neighborhood park, parks are community assets. So that every selection panelist should feel confident and comfortable that the decision that they're making, while of course it's for the neighborhood, moreover, it's that you're a community stakeholder. So, and I think everybody left feeling confident and comfortable. I did scare them about the digital business.
She did her very best.
Yeah, I did. I always do. I scare them just enough. So after they've logged in and they've gone through that process, they're like, oh, this isn't that hard anymore.
Did we talk about, I'm sorry, I was busy looking up stuff. Did we talk about the Parks Department presenting the concepts? Okay, sorry.
Yes. And the park itself is under construction right now, so nobody can really go walk around and look at it. You can drive around it and look into it, I think, but, so we don't.
Just a pile of dirt, dirt fence.
Okay, all right. Okay, so we're underway with that one. So far, looking fun.
Yeah.
Okay, next item is on the maintenance. Well, we have maintenance report, which the main thing is about Nature's Way. So the executive committee went out on the morning when it just snowed, it was 20 degrees, and we looked at 5 artwork that are on Quail Road on the other side from up Main from here. And we have, if you may remember, we have estimates from conservators about restoring all the 5 pieces to their former glory, or some version of that. So, Daniel, you want to talk about what we decided, or what's?
And I also have a statement from Stephanie and Cindy too.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think for the most part, there's only a few pieces that we really were all. I wish I had the list in front of me.
Oh, that's okay.
But yeah.
So the Go Fish Fountain, and then the other one is the trees.
Yeah, those are the 2 that we want to do the full scope, basically. So spending basically the amount of money, the top amount of money allocated for those restoration projects on both of those. The benches, everything else is looking pretty good. It's all stuff that we can powder coat within the city and not have to go to the companies. We all agree that we're probably going to keep it. The one thing, and which I was playing devil's advocate on, which is the piece that you basically look into, the looking glass piece. But right now where it's positioned is it's literally looking into people's homes. It's very awkwardly placed, and the whole entire thing needs to be completely taken apart and it needs new lenses. The whole thing is really going to be a lot of money. At first, I was thinking, because of the fact that we had already looked at a very similar piece going onto Main Street and doing another one of these kind of viewfinder things, and kind of was like, we've already talked about it in the last year, getting another one. Maybe we should just fix this one that we have. But the more that I've like drove up and down and been around that area more and kind of really thought about it, the piece is definitely, even relocating it on that same like area is going to be very disruptive, I think, to the former neighbor, to all of the neighbors, and it's just kind of a weird piece. So I think mostly everybody was kind of on the fence getting rid of that piece and taking it out of the collection. I was trying to fight for it, but now I don't know if it's really worth fighting for personally, because it's really bad, and it's also a piece that I think isn't going to stand up with the test of time either. I think it'll be something that we would have to invest a little bit more than we would on the average pieces. So that's just my own input, but yeah.
Yeah, so those two pieces got tabled. So in your last meeting, you did formally allocate that subcommittee to make the decision of up to X amount of dollars. And so the Go Fish total estimate is somewhere between 5,000 and 7,000. The kinetic archway trees, which got tagged today. Thank you very much for sending that to me.
That whole street got tagged though. The whole street got tagged.
And Chris, our graffiti specialist, is going to be out there tomorrow. The weather's warm enough for him to do pressure washing, but then the trees estimate was somewhere between 6,400 and 6,800, with a total to be spent of somewhere between 11,500 and 14,200. So, and that's for those two pieces. The Go Fish piece is a fountain and it's mosaic along the way. So I think personally, I think that is a really good decision because it actually functions. Stephanie writes and Cindy concurred that the executive team is acting as maintenance review committee, recently completed a group inspection, both in reviewing the artworks, but also reviewing the Pacific Coast Conservation proposal. The art is rapidly aging, and the I-Spy piece specifically was severely damaged with the flood, because I think the conservation report says that there is biomaterial inside. It was like, why don't you just call it what it is mold? Like, it's mold. Okay, it's like, okay, so it's moldy. All right, we all felt the proposal was reasonable for a high quality restoration and stabilization. We also recognize that the restoration proposals are a fraction of the cost of ripping in the new replacement project would cost, and that these pieces are important to the neighbors and users of that part of the greenway system. That the remainder of the collection, so the back bench is one, and the other one is the leaf chairs, are suffering some rust, some fading, and maybe need some powder coating in the future. But I can tell you with confidence that I can do that work without having to put it out of house, deinstall those ourselves, get those over to the powder coater ourselves, and save on having a super high professional do that. But the plaster work, the masonry work, the mosaic work, that's outside of, scope. So, so we'll be moving forward with that, and then we'll get on Pacific Coast Conservation's schedule for this year. And that 14,002, it's a little bit less than what I budgeted for this year's maintenance. We could do probably a little bit more, but that's pretty much going to max us out this year. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Maintaining, it's not as fun as buying, I know, but
I think it's going to be great, and I think we should rededicate when they're all fixed too, because
I like that.
they are so pretty. I mean, the mosaic piece is so sad with all of its tiles. Some of its tiles have fallen off, and the neighborhood really does like those pieces. I don't think that the I-Spy matches the rest of them very well. It's not the same scale. Anyway.
Yeah.
But decision on that is tabled for.
It is totally tabled at this point. Also, in other news, while we're walking over there, we found a bunch of the 100 faces up in trees along that section of the greenway.
I have some.
Not that the artist told us that was where that's just legacy knowledge that is in Lauren's head, and she must have known that they were installed there. Anyway, yeah, there's a bunch of them. There's like 3 of them. So
I'll show you some pictures.
wow, so cool.
Yeah.
And it's good to know that they're there. These things happen. Okie doke. Any other questions on Nature's Way? So just keep going?
Yeah, okay, next
Alright,
item.
I'm gonna tuck traffic boxes in to new
Okay,
business
yeah.
real quick, even though it's not technically new business, but,
Well, we're not in the business yet.
no, we're not.
No, we're on boards and commissions.
Oh.
Put it in.
Yes.
Right, I added one. All right. Did everybody receive and see the Code of Ethics document that our friendly and fabulous city clerk sent to us? Did
Yes.
everybody read?
Did anyone understand?
Yes.
Does everybody understand?
Debbie's like, I don't know.
Okay.
Eva's nodding her head. Melanie, did you read
I'm
the-
sharing it
Okay.
here. This is, this is not. So, the important part is here where it says, that this is coming to council, which if you have any comments about it and you don't want to go to public invited to be heard, I'm sure Susie has all ears. But basically the new Code of Ethics, addresses how a complaint would be handled should you find yourself in a situation where you have violated, and it's just expanding on our Code of Ethics. Luckily for us, I would say that because of your onboarding, and how I beat the drum so much about open meetings and transparency laws and those kinds of things, I think that we all were pretty much the things where we could be not in compliance, I think we handle pretty well. That said, this part of the Code of Ethics is going to be added, and on the 23rd, which is a week from, next Tuesday rather, at 7 p.m., this item is going to be on the agenda. And so if you have any sort of complaint or problem or questions about it, either sending it to me, to Susie, or to council, actually there's an email council, you can send it to the whole council, or to Dawn. So please, just within the next couple of days, when you're really tired and you can't seem to fall asleep, will you please open this Code of Ethics and just make sure that you really understand it. And, so, does anybody have any questions about that? Did anybody not get this from me? All right. Now that we got that snoozer out of the way, let's move on.
Okay, so next will be the traffic boxes.
Now we'll go to traffic boxes. Okay, hold on.
There is a traffic box
I've seen
at
two.
Third. I saw that Third and.
I emailed them to you and I sent you a link.
Okay.
I really like them.
Yes, I think they're great.
That's totally nailed it. Okay. Share in the metaverse. Share in the realverse.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay. Ta!
Oh my goodness.
So that's the one out near the airport. Again, because, you know, their boxes and the images are, you know, horizontal. I think we're still in a little bit of the learning curve of where the crop has to happen. And so as the subcommittee continues to go forward, like really honing in on what images are best. But this one, and I don't have them in, I don't think we have them all in the round, but
I know you got sent from the guide what to be installed, sorry.
Yeah, I didn't. I kind of, I really did not think this was my least favorite of everything.
This one's really
actually looks great. Like,
no one's walking in that area, so like you're driving by it, it's pretty recognizable that it's Johnson, so.
It really is, and I don't know, I kind of like the way that it laid out.
I do too, because it looks 3D.
It's a little, yeah, it's
right?
totally.
I have to
It's just
stop
fun.
and then I have
Really
to go to the next one. I don't understand
No, you can
why.
just
No, because it's in your email and I didn't link down.
Oh, I sent you a link on Teams for where I sleep.
Oh, Teams.
There's videos of them too.
Guys, seriously.
It was the one we used before Zoom.
Oh, we were talking about that today.
Skype, yeah.
Skype.
Have you
Skype. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, that's
folks.
like forever.
Don't worry. Yes. Much better.
Have you seen Johnson's Corner?
Yeah. Did they open it yet?
Not yet.
No, but it's really good in there.
So the other piece that is coming is our lovely intern Brooke is has completed her tour of this. Laura and I scrubbed it a little bit and finesse, and now our QR codes are done. The weather, of course, is terrible, so we'll wait until it's sunny again to slap those QR codes on. And so then, anytime you're passing by, you can grab the QR code and then go straight to the online tour. So
Yeah, there's a count.
There's a count.
Does the cabinet have a QR code?
Let's go.
So
I didn't know.
so much fun. They're fun to see kind of from the side. And there's vents. Yes. Okay, so this is the one that hopefully Harold will see when he's walking to work. It's got the main street and the little boys who are getting pulled behind the little trolley or strong wagon. The greatest piece and part of these is really when you do go around the corner of them, you get to see more of that whole image, right?
I love when the dogs are sitting on the corner on one edge of it.
Yeah.
No, that one broke up really nicely too.
Yeah, and so then there's the hay bales, right, from
That's
the
also
other side.
the corner, like where the edges meet, and I'm like, you can't like tell that it's like broken.
Yeah.
It kind of, with the black and white, it really does like
Looks
flow,
like it,
basically. Yeah, so I thought that was great. It's got
It really does. So then this is the main street with the smokestack in the back.
Oh yeah.
This is third part.
Yes, third
This is
one.
Lashley.
Oh, is this the last one?
Yeah, that's another. Yeah.
Looks so great.
That looks really good too.
These are so much far, way better than we even thought.
Yeah,
This one's my favorite.
definitely.
That's
so
that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I want that.
So part of when I was hired, one of the things that the director and leadership told me that they wanted was more connection between the museum and our public places and like how that happens, and getting this museum archive out, which really is the Times Hall archive that the museum now houses and is responsible for, that there's 5,000 images completely available to our community. And let's just face it, nostalgia hits everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, so it's really accessible that way. Of course, the tour and bilingual tour adds to everything. So really just trying to make those gaps lesser and lesser, and then we're calling it History Under Wraps is the name of the program. So we'll just continue, and our friends in traffic are super excited. They, of course, have concerns about how this is going to change in extreme heat, but our neighboring communities that we've already talked to and did the research have not had a problem. And the longevity of these is significant, so we're getting the bang for our buck.
The cost of these is so
It's affordable.
it's affordable for most of the art that we're typically purchasing.
Yeah.
So, Laura, can we, have you posted any of these up on the?
No, I have to wait. Yeah.
We want the tour to be launched before we,
Okay, all right.
but people are already.
I mean, I also, just had this idea of like, a set of note cards in the museum. They can either be these or something, anyway, for some reason they're just not.
We definitely could do more of an art public places flyer with all the QR codes to our various things and ways of people to get. This is my favorite. So, Bootstrap is right behind you. It's the motorcycle vibes with the cigarettes hanging out of the mouth.
It's such a good place.
Angela, could you reshare your screen?
What did she say?
Reshare.
Reshare. Oh no, guys. I've been doing this whole thing.
Oh, you gotta see these, you guys.
I'm sorry. I really am trying. How about now?
I did.
Yes? tell what she's
We
saying.
also, you were asking.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
The videos I took so that I could put them on social media. I get more engagement with videos than images, so, yeah.
So there he is. Oh, he's so cute.
Oh, yeah, that is perfect.
It's so great. I just like those. It's fun.
And they got the glasses and the whole thing.
The way that I scan the images, they're like this big. The fact that they're that big and you can still see the detail is like incredible.
I just thought they were going to be grainy.
They're amazing.
They're
yeah.
so crisp.
They look very
I'm
nice.
surprised.
So great.
And then for the most part, like this is a good example, you can't really tell, but I had Jared, who's our exhibitions curator, help me with where we were putting the logo. But because the doors to the cabinets are on different sides and things like that, and we had like a primary side that you would see like as frontal of an image as you could, that's where we stuck our logo. But see, and then this one has the door on that side, so it's like City of Longmont, and a couple places is like hidden down there. This is just the learning curve, you know. That's why we only did 6, because we knew we were gonna probably like them and all of that. But there's just some of these little hiccups that we just gotta kind of get past. So yeah, I mean, that is so good.
So good. It's so far apart from other cities. I love it.
Yeah.
Isn't it great?
Yes.
And like, so some of the images that we looked at, the girls in the 80s with their roller coaster, they're on a roller coaster and their like hair and their bangs are like flopping. It's so good. So good. But the format didn't fit. But now that we've done this, I think we probably could Photoshop and like, you know, even though the roller coaster is coming down this way, we might be able just to like align it so it would work. Yeah. Anyway, so let's just say that our jobs are pretty awesome.
That is for sure.
Yeah, and we purposefully put, this image is so fantastic. So
And
hopefully,
where's that one at?
right in front of the Civic Center. So on the,
She's got
Kimbrough.
it down.
They're,
Oh, we can't back chase it.
I love that we have all these different seasons too.
Yeah.
Winter, we have.
I like the cow.
The cow is fun. So the only commentary that I've heard back from traffic so far that we're gonna push back on is that they don't want any along Main or the highway because of how distracting they could be. So we'll continue to talk about that, please, because. But Jim did say that he's like, there are hundreds and hundreds of these around the community, which is great, which means that we can just meet people where they are. Yeah.
True.
I hate to say this, but Denver recently outlined Colfax with different artists along the streets and along like the poles. And I gotta say, that is one of the most distracting days. It really was. We were like driving, trying to figure out how many different artists were along Colfax, and I was like, and then literally my husband was like, this is really distracting. Like, it's like, especially on Colfax. So I can kind of understand where they're coming from. Like, you're gonna take double.
As far as downtown goes, it is supposed to be 25 miles an hour. And it's usually crowded, people are not going that fast.
Right, and the other thing that we did was made sure that for the most part, the figures in the images weren't potentially construed as a human standing at the corner.
Okay.
So while like even our little motorcycle dudes, I would say is about as large of figures as we have that potentially could be construed as there's somebody standing, but there's enough, I think, contextual clues there that it's not. But so there are some images where there's some really great people like holding beats and things like that. But what we're really trying to get is images that have enough of a landscape orientation that it wraps effectively. So anyway, super successful people are talking about it already, and as soon as we get that tour up and going, we're going to be talking about it everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Okie doke.
Okay, great.
That was fun.
Nettie
has something.
You're muted. Sorry.
Can you send out locations, please? I'd
Yep.
love-
Yeah, we'll send a map as well with the two.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Okey-doke.
Okay, next item on new business, the Longmont Arts Week coming up in September.
Yes, so please put on your calendar Longmont Arts Week. It will be the second year that we, the city of Longmont, are actually calling Arts Week an Arts Week and effectively doing the thing. What the thing is, we're still working on, and we're gonna get there. But we know for a doggone fact that Art Walk will be September the 14th, Saturday, September the 14th. And then promotional things that are related to art and culture in our neighborhoods and things like that will be promoted all week long. And then it will culminate with Saturday the 21st at Roosevelt for Rhythm on Roosevelt. So there's September is gonna be a lot of action, just so you know. So really, I have committed Art and Public Places to that art walk that which we have done in the past, but we'll really be spearheading that initiative. So just get that on your calendars, and as it comes into focus, we'll let you know. Yeah, any other questions? Popping up fence and that thing? All right. And then I'll just keep going on new business. I'm adding hidden paths, unseen trails, the glass artwork that is in the museum here as we're going into the gallery. If between now and next month, everybody can attempt to try and go and see it, because the museum is expanding and that wall is not going to be there anymore, which means that it's going to be relocated. And Eric Mason, the museum director, will be coming to you next month with updates of the museum expansion, architectural drawings, and I am imagining and sure hoping a solution to the problem. And keeping it here at the museum and also publicly accessible. So the reason I have it on new business is you'll see it on the agenda next month. And again, really, really helpful if you go and see the work.
And this does belong to us, right?
Yes, this is a public artwork, which also means that it needs to stay in a portion of the museum that people don't have to pay to go and see it.
Okay, so that's the etched glasswork.
Correct.
It's down the hallway going to the gallery.
It's like, you go to the bathrooms,
Right.
and then there's that hallway, it's right down that hallway to your right.
Similarly, just FYI, the vinyl installations in the bathrooms right here are also ours.
Correct.
And what about the etched glass in the atrium?
Interestingly enough, technically, that does not belong to Art and Public Places, even though it's the same artist who did in Paths Unseen Trails. That was purchased by the family foundation who was responsible for Swan Auditorium, Swan Atrium, and that is the decorative piece for Swan Atrium.
Okay. All right, just so you know, we do have some pieces here in the museum.
Yes, right.
And
And
yeah,
that-
3 years later, we figured it out.
Yep.
Yes, Susan?
No. And altarpiece, did we talk about that? We're getting plexi boxes priced out. So we could get it. Yeah.
And we are gonna have a dedication of that when that goes up, right?
Yeah.
But we don't have a date on that
Right.
yet. That's fine.
It's plexiglass is expensive. It's a petroleum product. Everything's expensive, but
Flex has been expensive since
it's actually
early marketing days. Okay. All right. Any other commissioner comments or announcements of any kind?
If you know anybody who is interested in applying for Art and Public Places, the deadline is
Tomorrow.
it's either the next.
Nope, it's tomorrow.
It is?
It's okay.
And Susan has,
As I understand, yes.
okay,
It is tomorrow. Yes. We have two commissioners who are you're term limited, And we have 2 more who are at the end of their term and for reapply.
That doesn't mean you can't still come.
But I'm still, I want to say,
An ambassador for the museum.
I'm out there in the community.
You do.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna call for a selection panelist.
Right. All right, and with that,
Okay. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll move to start it, move to end.
Okay.
A second.
Does anybody want to discuss whether we should adjourn or not?
happy birthday, Susie.
Thank you.
All happy birthday.
All in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
Woo.
All opposed?
0.
Any abstentions?
0.
Okay, good deal. All right, we're officially adjourned.
Officially adjourned.
Next month.
Bye, guys. Bye.